There are three massive mistakes that people make when renting a flat in London. Most people end up missing the best properties, overpaying, or rushing into the wrong place. And they think it's just because London is expensive. But it turns out it has nothing to do with rent prices. Because the biggest challenge actually comes from how fast the market moves, how hard it is to book viewings, and how unprepared people are when they start. Renting in London is a process, and it is one of the hardest things to figure out, especially when flats disappear within hours, and you're forced to make snap decisions with barely any information. But the good news is, there is a proven system that can make renting simple, even in London. I've spent hundreds of hours navigating listings, going to viewings, and talking to agents. And I figured out what actually makes a difference in real life. And once you know it, it changes everything. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make this work. This 3-step process will show you exactly how to rent a flat in London, from start to finish. By the way, I moved to London alone 5 years ago, and I had to figure it all out from scratch. Since then, I've managed to rent incredible flats again and again. Apartments with swimming pools, private gyms, stunning views, and so on. The kind I used to think only existed in movies. And now I'm sharing everything I've learned. Alright, let's dive in. Let's start with the foundation. Choose one property search app and stick to it. If you're new to renting in London, you might think that downloading every app helps. Rightmove, OpenRent, Zoopla, Spare Room, and so on. Thinking more apps means more opportunities. But here is the truth. Most apps will show the exact same listings. So if you're using all of them, you're just wasting time and checking the same flats over and over again. For example, a flat listed on OpenRent will also be shown on Zoopla. But OpenRent only shows private landlords, so you'll miss out on properties listed by professional agents. On the other hand, Rightmove and Zoopla share the same listings. What I recommend is this. Pick just one app to focus on. If you're looking for flat shares, go with Spare Room. If you're after full apartments, choose either Zoopla or Rightmove. I personally find Zoopla more user-friendly, so that's my pick. But choose whichever feels best to you. And to make it super easy for you, I've dropped the links to download the apps right in the description. This app thing might sound like a small detail, but it's a huge time saver that sets you up for everything else. So if you're wasting 30 minutes a day cross-checking multiple apps, you're already falling behind. By focusing on one tool and mastering it, you give yourself a real shot at being first in line. And that makes all the difference. This is about working smarter, not harder. This next step is the difference between getting 50 random listings and getting the one that is perfect for you. Most people skip it, and that's why they waste hours every day. When searching for flats in London, setting up your filters correctly is key to finding the right places without wasting hours. A lot of beginners make the mistake of searching too broadly or with vague criteria, but they only end up overwhelmed by irrelevant listings. Or worse, missing the flats that actually fit their needs. Being precise in your search means you can act faster and smarter. Here's how to do that. Focus on a very specific neighborhood. I have a full video on how to find the perfect neighborhood, so check it out next if you want a deep dive. But the basic idea is this. Pick your preferred tube or train station and set up a search radius based on how far you're willing to walk. For example, if you rely heavily on public transport, limit your search to flat within 10-minute walk. But if you mostly work from home or locally, you might be okay with a 20-minute walk. Whatever fits your lifestyle. By the way, make sure you search for the actual station you want to focus on, not just the neighborhood name. Otherwise, your search could cover the entire neighborhood and beyond. For example, this is the difference between searching for Notting Hill Underground Station and Notting Hill, the neighborhood. Huge difference. You also need to set your budget smartly. Add a minimum budget to filter out irrelevant listings like £200 parking spots or offices. Then, set your maximum budget slightly above your actual limit. For example, if you can afford £1,500 a month, set it up to £1,750 a month. Why? Well, sometimes flats are advertised at random prices, like £1,504. And you don't want to miss those. Next, you need to choose your minimum bedroom count. And finally, filter out shared accommodation. If you want flat shares, use Spare Room instead. It is specifically designed for that. Excluding shared accommodation will not remove all of them, because some agents are sneaky. But that's the best we can do. Getting your filters right is more than just ticking boxes. It's shaping your search so you only see flats that actually match your lifestyle and budget. This will save you hours of scrolling through irrelevant listings and help you spot the right flats faster. Since the London rental market moves fast, being precise and focused from the start will put you ahead of the competition. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Setting all these filters sounds like it will cut down the number of listings that you see. And you're absolutely right. That's exactly the point. Because less noise means you spend less time scrolling and more time jumping on the listings that actually make sense for you. Less is more, especially when great flats disappear in hours. If you're not sure what your filters should be, or you're afraid you might miss out on the perfect flat, don't worry. I've made a full video breaking this down using a unique, simple framework. I will link it here so you can watch it next. You've done the hard part. Now, here's the step that makes the flat come to you. Most people skip this, and that's exactly why they miss out. Once your filters are set, it's time to automate your search. Because let's be real, who has time to manually refresh the app 10 times a day? Well, I do. But that's only because I'm a bit too obsessed with Zoopla. It's basically an addiction now. Honestly, they should just sponsor me at this point. But if you're sane and you have a life and a job, you've got better things to do. So instead of chasing listings, let the listings come to you. That's where notifications come in, and they're an absolute game changer. Setting up notifications is pretty simple. You will need to save your search first and then activate alerts. Here is how to do it on Zoopla. You can click on the little heart, give it a nickname if you want, and then you just have to press email notification and push notification. And that's all done. If you're using Rightmove, you click on Save Search, and then you press both push notification and emails, and then click on Save. If you're interested in 2 different neighborhoods, make sure you create and save separate searches for each one. Creating separate searches will help you focus on exactly the areas you want in each neighborhood, without accidentally getting listings from all over the place in between. Now you get notifications straight to your phone the moment a new flat that matches your criteria goes live. No more chasing listings or missing out because you are not constantly checking. This means you can stay focused on your day-to-day without worrying you're losing the perfect flat. Now that your notifications are set up and running, you'll only need to review the listings that actually come through these alerts. Of course, when you first set up these searches, you'll have plenty of listings to review. That's totally normal. But as time goes on, the number of listings will go down. Depending on your filters, you can expect 3 to 8 new listings per day on average. Since all the flats that come through already match your main criteria, meaning location, budget, and size, you can quickly scroll through the photos and description. You will be able to make fast decisions about which ones are worth contacting the agents about without being overwhelmed by irrelevant options. To make things even easier, I send a weekly email with my favorite listings around London. High quality properties for all budgets that usually don't last long. If you want to get these straight to your inbox, it is completely free to sign up and the link is below. You've just learned about how to stop wasting time on endless listings and spot the best flats easily. But there is a whole other challenge waiting: the viewing process. How you handle viewings can make or break your chances of getting a flat. And it's not just about showing up on time. When you find a flat that grabs your attention, the very first step is to request a viewing. The key here is to be clear, polite, and efficient. Agents get lots of requests every day, so a simple message to tell them who you are and that you're interested works best. Here's how to do it. Send a short message through the app introducing yourself, and let them know that you're interested and available for viewings. That's it. Keep it polite and to the point. If you want, you can use the exact template that I use to contact dozens of agents. It is included in my free flat hunting guide linked below. If you are really interested in one flat, you can call the agent, but don't feel like you have to. In most cases, messaging is enough. Now, I have 2 bonus tips that I haven't seen shared anywhere else, so listen up. Contact a healthy number of listings, not just your top picks. This keeps you open to good surprises and avoid getting stuck in a scarcity mindset. If you can't check your notifications quickly because of work or life, ask a friend or a family member to help you by sending the pre-written message for you. You can always back out later if you decide that a flat isn't right. This step is key, because requesting viewings is your first real move in a fast, competitive market. Doing it right means you won't miss opportunities by hesitating or sending unclear messages. By mastering this, you're setting yourself up to see the right flats and make fast decisions, which is exactly what you need to win the perfect London home. Now that you've got the agent attention, it's time to get the viewing right. Here's a simple hack that will keep you one step ahead of everyone else. My absolute favorite approach when it comes to viewing is to batch them together in a viewing day. Even if it means taking a full day or a half day off work. This strategy can seriously make all the difference. If that's not possible, plan for a Saturday. It might be less flexible, but it still works. In London, agents usually schedule viewings super quickly, often on the same day or within 48 hours. So you need to use this urgency to your advantage and plan smart. You might think that setting a specific day and expect agents to work around your schedule could be a disadvantage. But here's the thing, many people can only do evenings. So if you block out a whole day and make yourself available at random times like 10 a.m. or 2 p.m., agents will appreciate being able to fill out these awkward midday gaps. But this isn't just about convenience. It's a strategic move that helps you stay ahead of the competition. Plus, by batching multiple viewings into the same day, you make it much easier to compare flats side by side and spot which one truly fits your needs. Speaking of which, how do you figure out if a flat is the right fit during the viewing? It's all about knowing what questions to ask. How you show up to a viewing is your chance to make a good impression and gather key information. Being punctual, professional, and genuinely interested can set you apart from the crowd. And you probably already know what you need to do here. Arrive on time, be polite. Show genuine enthusiasm for the flat. During the viewing, ask clear basic questions like what's the exact rent? Is the property managed by the agent or directly by the landlord? Is there parking available? Are any bills included? And so on. But asking these questions does more than just gathering useful information. It can actually help you spot red flags. If an agent gets uncomfortable or vague when you ask certain questions, it's a warning sign that you shouldn't ignore. Knowing what to look for can save you from a nightmare later. If you want to learn exactly what questions to ask and how to spot these red flags, I've got a dedicated video on that. I'll put it here, you can check it out next. So you went to viewings and you found the perfect place. The one you pictured in your wildest dreams. Failing to make your application shine means risking everything you've worked for. Once you're ready to apply, send your application to the agent. Ideally, do it right after the viewing, even if you're not 100% sure. Sending it isn't a commitment, it just puts you in the running and it will show that you are reliable and serious about it. Include the property address and details about yourself and any other tenant, like a partner or a friend. If you have references, add those too. Let's talk about bidding wars for a second. They do happen, but honestly, they're not nearly as common as people think. And there are smarter, more practical ways to make your application stand out. For example, you can offer a longer lease to give the landlord stability, or to move in earlier than you were planning to. You could offer paying a few months upfront if you can, or even to take care of small DIY tasks, like repainting a wall. These things are extremely valuable to the landlord, and they won't cost you more. If you want to save time, you can grab the exact application template I use each time I move. It is in my free flat hunting guide. The link is below. I also made a whole video on how to build a winning application if you want to watch it next. This isn't just random advice. This is a proven, exact formula. Follow every step in this sequence and your chances of finding the perfect flat will skyrocket. No matter your budget or situation, this process works. Skip any of the steps and you risk wasting time and missing out. Stick to the plan. Your next home is waiting. And if you want to learn more about how to actually find great listings, you can watch this video next.